Hi, I'm Hubert, and this is a review of a game called Troika, I think that's the correct pronunciation, from Oink Games. I met the Oink guys, that's Laura and Toby and Eileen, at Aircon Aircon 5 in Harrogate, and they were kind enough to give me a copy of this to play and have a review. Troika, if you don't know anything about Oink, they're a Japanese company that all their games are this size and everything fits inside a little box like this, and they're great for like taking away on the parties and when you go on a holiday or just on a road trip. So Troika is a 2 to 5 player game for ages 9+, takes about 20 minutes to play. It's a Rummy style game but with tiles. So I'll show you how to play this game and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Okay, to play Troika, you set up an area like this called the extraction area. One tile at random is flipped over. If you've only playing 2 players, 10 of these tiles are removed at random, but we're going to be playing a 3-player game today. So on a player's turn, they can do one of 3 things, but first what they must do is flip over one of these tiles at random. So let's choose this one. Now the player can now do one of 3 things. First of all, they can take a face-up chip and place it in an imaginary area in front of them called their container. Now they can have any number of chips in their container, but they all must be face-up. Another option a player can take is by taking a face-down tile and place it in their hand. Now their hand has a limit of 3, and all these tiles are placed face down, so only they can see what they've got. Now let's say I have these 2 face down, and let's say these tiles here in my container. And the third thing I can do is either I can get rid of one of these tiles that's in front of me. Now if it's in my hand, I place it face down back into the extraction area. If it's from my container, I place it face up in the extraction area. What I'm trying to do is to get, first of all, 3 of a kind and another set that is basically a straight consisting of 3 numbers, sequential numbers. For example, here I have 12, 13, 11, 12 and 13. Now this can be any combination of my face down hand and face up container. Once I have 11, 12, 13, this is what will score me points at the end of the game. But I don't score 13 points, I score the highest tile, but the digit on the far right. But to actually leave the planet, I need to get 3 tiles with the same number. So somewhere around here, there should be 3 of the same number, and so here I've got 3 7s, and if I've got 3 7s, it means that this is my my set, and as the game calls it, my fuel to get out. So if I'm the first at this point, I can say Troika and leave the planet. If I'm the first person to do that, I score an extra 5 points on top of the 3 that I would have scored from this tile here. Now, I can't leave the planet if I have this as a combination between my container and my hand. I need to get rid of these surplus tiles and put them back into the extraction area. Once I've done that, I can say Troika and leave. Now, like I said, if the first player does that, they get 5 extra points on top of their score here. You can have more than one of these runs here. If you're the second player, that's fine. If you're the last player that's left, you effectively do not leave the planet. This can also happen if all of these tiles in the containment area are turned face up and you still haven't left. If that happens, you are considered to be stranded. So once players have at least 2 players have left, the player with the most points in that particular round receives a 2-player scoring chit for end of game storing. If you're the next person off, if you are the next person with the highest score, you receive a 1-point scoring chit. If you are stranded, you get a -1. This that's how that particular round ends. After 3 rounds, you add up the number of scoring chits that you have, and the player with the highest number of scoring chits wins the game. And that pretty much is how you play Troika. Hello again, and we've been playing Troika, and hopefully you now understand how to play the game. As you may notice, it is very Rummy-esque in the way it works. The theme's pretty thin, pretty much non-existent. It could be anything at all. But the components, they're decent. The card's really thick, and that's about it really. One thing the game could have done with is just a little +5 or some sort of token for the person who first shouted out Troika and left the planet. But apart from that, there's nothing wrong with the components. They're not amazing, they're not bad, they just work, and it's good that it all fits into, like I said, a box this big. So what about the gameplay? Well, it is smooth, it is fast, makes you have to think. There is a lot of luck in this game, but that's the same for all the players. It's very Rummy-esque. If you have friends who like those kind of games, and then you want to introduce them to board gaming, then this is the perfect game to do it, because they understand the rules, and it would be it's a good sort of leaping off point into trying other games. So it's not amazing, but it's not bad. It's good fun. And that's all I'd say about it really. It's a good game that if you want to play it a couple of times on a night out, or if you go on a holiday and you want to take it with you, then it's great. But in terms of whether it's going to hold your attention on a gaming night, if you want to play something a bit meatier and chunkier, then this game won't do it. But as a filler, it's great, and if you don't expect too much from it, it's a fun game to play, and one that I will probably play quite a few times. Anyway, that's my opinion. If you want to check this game out, you can pick up a copy. Just go to the Oink website and have a go at the game. Okay, I'm Hubert, and this is for Clubit TV. Goodbye.